Welcome back to the next module. In this module, we're going to talk about brand. What is a brand and why is it important that you actually think of your business as a brand and not just selling products? That's because Amazon has made a huge shift in the last several years to really emphasizing branded items and wanting brands on Amazon. Just think about this. If you're on TikTok and you're running, you see a video of something on TikTok and someone sees it and they're like, I don't want to go in the TikTok shop and buy it. I want to go to Amazon and buy it. TikTok doesn't like you putting a link to Amazon. And maybe you're like, in the TikTok shop, I got to enter my credit card, or I don't know who's going to ship this, but I trust Amazon. So I'm going to go over to Amazon and I'm going to type in whatever the name is. And that's your brand. That's how people find you. I always say that on Amazon, you're not truly a brand unless you have at least 3,000 searches a month for that name. That's how you know you've made it as a true brand. 3,000 searches in the search engine on Amazon per month, then you become a brand. If you don't have that, you're just another name. You're just another product. You're a so what. But you want to create that brand because that's how people will identify to you and with you. Just think about some of the top brands in the world. Louis Vuitton, Apple, Microsoft. They all evoke an emotion, a feeling. You know kind of what you're going to get when you buy a product from them. You know what to expect. And that's where you want to get to. When you're first starting off, you're not there. People have no clue what you're doing. But over time, you'll do that. Like for me, in this business, I have a brand called the $1 Billion Sellers. So when I first started, it's a high-level brand for high-level successful Amazon sellers. At my events, the median sellers doing about $14 million a year. But it took me a while to build that brand. When I did my first event, I had to beg and plead people to come to this event. And it's an expensive event. Now when I do it, people are like, they don't want to miss it. They know exactly what to expect and what's happening. That's a brand. It takes time. It's taken me years to do that. It's going to take the same for you. But you want to start from day one to building this brand because it's going to add value. It's going to add what's called brand equity to your balance sheet. It's going to add, it's going to make a big difference in differentiation. It's super important. And Amazon realizes this, and so that they're focusing everything to that, and they give you lots of benefits if you are a brand. Like we said before, they open up some of the advertising tools, they open up some of the reporting tools, some of the additional features that you can do, where you can actually police your brand. If people are knocking you off and trying to copy you, if you're a brand, register with a trademark on Amazon. It means you applied for your trademark, you submitted to brandregistry.amazon.com, and they've approved you. Then you get extra protections. If someone comes in and tries to knock you off or counterfeit you, you have some protections that you can take some actions to try to get them off. Those it's just so important to have a brand. A lot of people think that, well, a brand is really not mandatory. And I understand that there's some benefits, but it's just not mandatory. Amazon's a brand incubator. If you're not doing a brand when you start this, then you're making a big mistake. Just selling random products can generate some cash, and it can make you a little bit of money, but you're not thinking long term. You're thinking short term, just short term wins. You're not building a true business. You're just making some cash. You might as well go deliver pizzas. So build a true brand. Because one of the best incubators in the world for brand building is Amazon, because they have all the tools there. They have all the reporting. They have the audience, the eyeballs coming in. There's just no better place to start. And then you can take that brand and leverage it off Amazon. Think about brands like, you've probably heard of Anchor, Anker. They started out on Amazon selling electronic products. There's several of them. Pluggable's another one that started on Amazon, and then they branched off of Amazon, and now they sell in retail stores and Best Buy and the Apple Store and all these different places. It's because they've become a brand and they're able to extend that out. And that's what you want to be trying to do. Use Amazon as your launch pad, and then hopefully down the road, you're extending that out to get even more control. A brand is not a logo or a name. That is part of it, but a lot of people just think, well, my logo, this is my brand, or my name, that's my brand. No, it's not. A brand is a feeling that evokes in customers that own that product. When a woman goes and gets for Valentine's Day, if you give your spouse, say you're a man, and you give your spouse, who's a woman, in this case, a purse, and she gets a Louis Vuitton purse, that says something different than if you just gave her some similar looking purse from Walmart. it creates an image. She feels like she's part of something. She feels like maybe she made it, or that she's cool, or she's keeping up with the Joneses, or whatever it is. It puts her in this feeling and sense of belonging. That's what brands do. And that's why lots of brands are emphasizing sustainability now, because they know it's important to their customers. And that's why there's all these things. People will, the sock company that gives away a pair of socks for every pair bought. That's part of the branding message. That's part of what they're doing. So you want to focus on an avatar when you're doing a brand, not on a demographic. So you want to, the example I like to give is if you're targeting, you're doing products in the fitness space, let's say. Are you going to do products for people that work out in a gym? Are you going after the meatheads? Or are you going to do products for people that like to go walk their dog around the park? Those are both fitness activities, but they're two different avatars. The people that go walk their dog around the park, they might want something that goes on their shoulder that holds their phone so they can listen to it. They might want a dog leash or a special belt to hold the water bottles, or a little picnic thing. That's all part of an avatar of that person, which is different than if you're going after fitness products and you're going after the gym rats. They're going to want totally different things. They're going to want special gloves and chalk and like a special type of bag to carry all their sticky stuff and everything, the weights. It's a different type. So go after an avatar, not necessarily a line of products or a type of product. Go after the avatar and create your brand over that. It's the lifestyle of the person that you're targeting. And that gives you a lot of flexibility to expand over different markets or different categories as well. You're not stuck to just the pets category or just the sports and outdoors category. That's super important. You may design your brand, you sit down, you brainstorm, you talk with your family and your friends, your business partners, and you come up with this awesome thing. This is what our brand represents. This is what we do. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's how the customers perceive you that matters. So the perception, marketing, business, there's two things in business. Business is all about marketing and perception. It's what people think of you, not necessarily what's true, that matters. Think about politics. Think about a lot of things. It's the perception becomes the reality. And so whatever you can influence that, but ultimately the customer is going to decide what are you. So you can shape it, you can guide it, but the customer is ultimately going to decide, and you either got to run with that and expand on that, or you got to say that's not where I want to go. We're going to shift this a little bit. Consistent quality and service are critical to a brand. People come to expect something. You go to Nordstrom's, it's unlimited returns. You can return something anytime at Nordstrom's. As long as it's got the little special barcode sticker so prevent the fraud on it, you can return it 3 years from now, and they'll give you your money back, or they'll exchange it for something else. That's part of their service. You look at Amazon, you return almost anything you want with no questions asked. It's super easy to return stuff. You look at consistent quality. Apple, everything Apple does has a Midas touch on. It's consistent quality. All brands have something that's unique. Quality and service are the two main things that they focus on. So try to do that. Remember, branding is a long-term thing. It's a way to engage the customers and to make them have a sense of belonging, a sense of community. If people are using like Web3 now and NFTs and all kinds of stuff to help bring that, or membership cards or VIP clubs, or community Facebook groups or forums, like in the case of Helium 10, to actually help build that brand and build that identity. So when you do a brand, one of the best things you can do is create what's called a brand book or brand guide or brand lookbook. And this is something that you decide, these are the colors of our brand. You can Google this and you can find examples of these, but you decide these are the colors of our brand. These are the fonts that we use. This is the way our logo appears when it's on white. This is the way it appears when it's reversed out of black. This is the way different things are supposed to be done. And when you create that, you'll have something that's a guide for everything that you do. You'll also have lifestyle pictures. This is the avatar we're going after. You can use AI to create these pictures. If you don't have pictures of real people, and you can type in AI, it'll create all this stuff for you if you know how to prompt it right. And then you'll put this in a guide, a PDF or a printed guide. And then anytime you're dealing with a Facebook agency, or you're dealing with a PPC agency, or you're dealing with your supplier, or you're dealing with anybody, you can get new employees. Like, here, this is who we are. This is what we represent. This is how we're consistent. Just like McDonald's. When you go to McDonald's in the U.S. or you go to McDonald's in the Middle East, they're basically the same. There might be a few different things on the menu because of cultural differences, but basically it's the same expectation. Or when you go to McDonald's in New York and California, it's basically the same. It's because it's a brand. You know what to expect. And so that's what you want to get to with your product and what you're doing. And using Amazon to get this going and to get this ball rolling is magical. Now, brand registry is something that you can get once you have a trademark. Remember, in the last module we talked about getting a trademark. You'll go to brandregistry.amazon.com. You submit that trademark application number. They will check everything. And they'll usually in a few days they'll say, okay, you're brand registered. Then they open up all these additional benefits. And I've said this like several times already. It's how important it is, because it gives you so much more authority on Amazon. So it gives you so much more benefits. You're basically operating with one hand tied behind your back if you don't have brand registry on Amazon. You get access to some of the influencer programs, tons of stuff. You get one of the couple of big things that you get access to are the tools like brand analytics. Brand analytics will show you on Amazon. I mean, there's tools like Helium 10 that are awesome for showing you like, here's what's selling and following keywords. But sometimes if you go straight to the horse's mouth, you can get additional information or see it in a different way. And brand analytics is one of those tools within Amazon. It'll show you, here's the 3 top most converting products on this keyword. Here's how much of the share they have. So you know all this cool analytics stuff, and you can figure out how you're doing compared to your competition versus where the opportunities are if you're going to expand, or where you're missing out on. There's also something called Product Opportunity Explorer, which will show you this is how categories do, how individual products do. We're going to show you some demos of that later on in the course, so you can see some of that. But they're really, really cool tools that you can download. In most cases, a few of them you can't download, but most of them you can download or you can use through the API and Helium 10. They pull in some of that information. And without being brand registered, your Helium 10 account's not going to be able to pull that information in. You have to be brand registered to do that. So those are important things. Brands influence the perception of a product. When I put out a purse as Louis Vuitton, you have a perception immediately. This is going to be high quality, handcrafted purses. You know, Louis Vuitton never does discounts. You see Apple never does discounts. Louis Vuitton you'll never see a sale on Louis Vuitton, period, ever. If something is damaged on Louis Vuitton, if it's got one thread that's messed up, the customer returns it or they catch it, it doesn't go on the floor as a discount. It goes into a special website where Louis Vuitton employees only can buy, and they can only buy up to $2,000 worth a year. They discount it heavily. So, but they keep it off the market. That's keeping that perception high of knowing what you're going to expect. You want to align your brand with the lifestyle of the customers you're going after. So if they're into sustainability, or they're into inclusion, or they're into diversity, or they're into whatever it is, align your brand with that. Or they're into, some political type of thoughts that's different than everybody else. Align that brand into that. Some of the best politicians out there in the U.S. and elsewhere, they become brands, and they know they push those buttons for those people and those lifestyles, and they harp on that and they trigger on that to actually get the results.
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với Uspto, từ Helium 10, từ Trịnh Scout, Logistics và Warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.
That they want. You can also consider, if you don't have a brand, another way is licensing and partnerships. So you could, I've done this with Body Glove, the surfing company. We did a line of dog products with them where we did some life jackets and stuff. So we kind of leveraged off the back of their brand. There's a big show in Vegas in the U.S. called the Licensing Expo. It's usually in May. And you can go there and you can get licenses. So if you want to do Disney characters or something like that are kind of hard to get. You got to be a pre-established brand. But if you want to do something like the U.S. Army, you're doing a tactical flashlight. And to differentiate your product on Amazon, instead of just being Joe's tactical flashlights, you want to be the U.S. Army tactical flashlight. You can go and get a license from the U.S. Army for your tactical flashlight, pay them a 5 to 10% royalty on everything you sell, and they'll let you use their logo on the product, for example. They have to approve everything, but you can do licensing, and so you can piggyback on other built brands. Marquee Brands is the one that handles Body Glove, and they handle Martha Stewart and a bunch of others. There's companies that specialize in letting other people do brands. You go to the grocery store, and maybe like in Texas, we have a chain called Whataburger. In California, they have In-N-Out. We have them in Texas too now because all the Californians moving there. But you go to the supermarket and you'll see Whataburger pancake mix or In-N-Out ketchup. Those are licensing deals. Those are people just, that brand, that becomes something. You look at Playboy, whether you like them or not. Playboy used to be a magazine and a website and TV. Now it's basically, it's a brand that licenses. People buy, they license their name because it's worth something to put on T-shirts, just to say the word Playboy, to put tattoos. But brand can be a major, major asset if done right. It can be worth a lot of money beyond just the products that you make. So you want to keep that in mind when you're developing your products, or if you want, you can leverage somebody else's brand. Now, another thing is reselling and counterfeiting. So if you're going to get into this and you're going to resell other people's products, that's okay. But you got to get approval on Amazon to actually be able to resell. You know, if you want to sell certain hair products or certain big names on Amazon, you're going to have to get approval, usually from those brands, like Body Glove, an example. You had to get approval from them to actually be able to sell on Amazon. They're called brand gated. You're not allowed to just throw them up. Other products, you can just throw them up. You can buy them wholesale and just throw them up. There's no restrictions. But the big brands, the ones that are protecting them, they protect themselves. Yeah. And there is a difference, though, between reselling and counterfeiting. So a lot of times you'll see in the Facebook groups and the forums, people saying, I got a counterfeiter, I got a hijacker. That's usually the word they use, is hijacker. I have a hijacker that's on my listing. What's a hijacker? That's someone that's come in and you've created this product and they're selling either the exact same product or something similar. Now that could be a counterfeit person where they've taken your IP. It's only counterfeit if you own the IP on it. So if you own the IP, you've done the trademark and the patent, then it can be counterfeit. If they're knocking you off and doing the exact same thing, that's counterfeit and you can stop them. But oftentimes it's someone reselling. So if you're allowed to sell something that you bought and resell it. And so those are not illegal. So you'll see a lot of people bitching a lot of times that that's happening, and you can check and maybe there's only 2 or 3 units. But if they've got thousands of units, then that's an issue where they're trying to knock you off. It could be counterfeiting. But if you don't have IP protection on it or you're not brand registered, there's nothing you can do, and they can leech off your back. So that's another reason that creating a true brand with a moat and a brand registry is super important. When you are brand registered on Amazon, they also give you a tool where you can search and you can see who's maybe using your name or using your images. You can upload an image. Like I had this problem with my ab wow, the ab roller that I told you about earlier. We created some really good lifestyle images with the models, you know, cute model, working out. And we had people knocking us off. They would take our image, lift out our ab roller, Photoshop our ab roller out of it, put theirs in, and then put the listing up because we had really good models and good lighting and good pictures, and they put theirs in. Well, that was a violation of my copyright. So I could upload my picture into Amazon and say, find all the pictures that are similar to this. And it would go in using AI and tools. It would go and find the picture similar and show them to me. I'm like, holy cow, look at this. This company here is doing this. I just hit a little button, and Amazon sends them a message, says, hey, bud, you're violating the rules here. And in some cases, we'll kick them out. Other cases, they'll suspend them and make them talk to you and sort things out. But those are the kind of protections that you get when you're brand registered. It's super, super important for people that are infringing or that kind of thing. The other thing that brand registry really gets you is storefront creation. So storefront creations, like I said earlier, is kind of like a miniature website within Amazon for you. So you can show all your products. You can talk about your products. You can show extra videos, talk about the story of how you created your brand. It's a great little place for people to get extra confidence. You can drive traffic to it. A lot of influencers like to drive traffic to it. You can set these up to look pretty nice. You get some additional features and stuff on the setup on those. It can be really, really good. So another thing this allows you to do is to collect follows. So on Amazon, you're not really allowed to, they don't give you the customer information. So you don't know your full customer's address and phone number and email. They just give you partial information. And so it's hard for you to go back and you've got a new product coming out and you want to reach out to the 5,000 people that bought from you on Amazon before. How do you do that? It's basically impossible. But with storefront, there's a little button there called follow. And people can click that if they're interested in you, and they basically get put into a little database on Amazon. And then when you have a new product come out, you can say, hey, send this picture, this message, or this promotion to my followers. And they will do that. So it's a great extra benefit to actually leverage the platform. Now, outside of Amazon, you probably want to set up your own website as well. But I wouldn't put a lot of emphasis into this. You could use some templates or WordPress, or you can have someone on Fiverr do something, or you can use Shopify is a common one. But You want it just more for legitimacy, because there are people that will go to Amazon and will like, let me just Google and see if this company is real or not. Well, there's people that might want to do business with your Amazon, just wants to check. Sometimes when they have an issue on brand registry, they'll say, send us a link to your website so we can check the way the pictures or the copy is there to see if someone's really violating, infringing on you on Amazon. So you want to set up a basic website. Don't register your domain. You can use something like Cheap Domains or GoDaddy or something like that. Just get a cheap domain, set it to WordPress or Shopify or one of the other hosting. I use Bluehost. It's who I use. And you can just put a basic stuff there. You're not trying to really sell a lot of it. Maybe it's a splash page, which is kind of a welcome page. A couple of information about you, maybe the owners of the company, just to contact us. You could put a blog if you want to, but just something basic. And that's all you really need. So don't spend a lot of money or time. Don't try to drive a lot of traffic to it in the beginning. Even if you do Shopify, the basic plan is $20 a month or something like that. There's different levels, but it's worth just setting that up just to have it. And you might get the occasional order through it, but in the beginning, just focus on Amazon, but have that just for credibility. You also want to set up all your social media channels. So make sure you have a presence on at least Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and LinkedIn and X. All of those, you want to at least have a basic, because people will check for legitimacy there. Plus, you're going to probably want to use some of those to help drive some traffic or get some engagement from some of your customers down the road and get some feedback. But you also want to probably use product inserts, which are like pieces of paper, usually like a 4x6, or some people use little business cards, but something that's inserted with the product that says, thanks for your purchase. So on your product inserts, there's certain things you can and can't do. Some of those include, like, you cannot influence reviews. So you can't say, if you like our product, go leave me a 5-star review on Amazon, or I'll give you a 50% discount coupon if you go leave us a review. Amazon does not like you incentivizing reviews. They don't like you putting even 5 stars. If you don't say anything about going to Amazon, just putting 5 stars there, it looks like it's like Amazon. But what you can do is you can put QR codes to your social media. You can put stuff to go register for like your newsletter, to go join your other social media sites. I do something in mine where I offer a free plus shipping offer. So it's not incentivizing reviews and not doing anything, but I say, hey, congratulations, you want a free calendar. Just pay $10 shipping and handling, and I get rid of my excess inventory that way. So the things that aren't selling, I use those as freebies, and it generates leads for me. So you can do those kinds of things. Some people like to do warranties or join a VIP club. Those are all okay. You're going to get mixed stories from people on whether you should do package inserts or not. Some people will tell you, don't do them. They'll just get you in trouble. And I say BS on that. That's not, it's how you do them that matters. You got to do them right. And Amazon's not going to have a problem with it. You do something wrong, and usually when someone says, oh, I did them and I had trouble and I went by the rules, but you look at what they did, no, they actually didn't go by the rules. They're trying to write a gray line, or they're doing something. But product inserts can be super valuable. QR codes are also great. It makes it easy for someone to just open the package. They're not interested in going and sitting at the computer typing in your email, but they got their phone there. They'll just scan it. It could be something as instructions or recipes or something that helps them with the product. Those are always really good. Things of value are really good. Another thing that's super hot right now is our newsletters for building audiences and driving traffic around your brand. There's a lot of people doing newsletters. And newsletters are not, when I say newsletters, I don't mean an email that's a promotional email. A lot of people get the idea of a newsletter as, well, here's a 10% discount for Black Friday. Here's our newest product release. We just promoted this person. We're really into sustainability in our packaging. Those are just promotional emails for the company. A newsletter is something that provides value for your niche. So it's providing education or entertainment or some sort of value for the niche that you serve. So if you're selling pet products, it's not about, hey, we're the best pet product company. Come check out our new dog bowl and get a 10% discount on Black Friday, and we got a promotion running next week. Those are marketing emails. But for a pet company, a newsletter would be something like, it's all about pets. It's Gary Vaynerchuk's jab, 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 right hook. So you provide value, 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 and then somewhere down the road you say, oh, by the way, we just launched a new dog bowl. But you're providing value about the dog. So in our case, we have a picture. You can upload a picture of your dog, and we do AI to do custom photos, custom backgrounds and stuff with the dog photo. In every newsletter, you get a custom photo. If it's July 4th, here's Fido with fireworks going off behind him. We do stories about dogs. Here's dog tips and training tips. Why does a dog, lick certain parts of its body? Here's why. Well, if your dog is doing this, what kind of warning signs is that? Here's a dog that was a rescue dog at a firehouse in Kansas City, and here's a little story about them. Here's a tip from a veterinarian. Those kinds of things. And then, oh, by the way, we have a new dog ball. Those provide value and engagement. It can be really great ways. And by using Amazon to get people onto those types of lists, you can drive people right back to Amazon and do that. I have a product, a company, my calendar company right now, that I have 17,000 people on the list that buy from me directly. And I also, every year, we send out a postcard, a physical postcard through the mail to these people, and we sell them, hey, the new calendars are available. You can buy them on our website, or you can go to Amazon. If you're a Prime member, get them for free. It instantly launches those products. I'm not giving any discounts, not incentivizing anything, but it instantly, those people go, and it instantly gets the ball rolling, and that product gets launched and starts selling. So owning a customer list and owning your customer data, we're going to talk about this more in another module, is super important. And using these marketplaces like Amazon to start to do that can be super valuable, especially when it comes to driving traffic back to Amazon. Hopefully this has been helpful for you, and we'll see you again in the next module. So in our case, we have a picture. You can upload a picture of your dog, and we do AI to do custom photos, custom backgrounds and stuff with the dog photo. In every newsletter, you get a custom photo. If it's July 4th, here's Fido with fireworks going off behind him. We do stories about dogs. Here's dog tips and training tips. Why does a dog, lick certain parts of its body? Here's why. Well, if your dog is doing this, what kind of warning signs is that? Here's a dog that was a rescue dog at a firehouse in Kansas City, and here's a little story about them. Here's a tip from a veterinarian. Those kinds of things. And then, oh, by the way, we have a new dog ball. Those provide value and engagement. It can be really great ways. And by using Amazon to get people onto those types of lists, you can drive people right back to Amazon and do that. I have a product, a company, my calendar company right now, that I have 17,000 people on the list that buy from me directly. And I also, every year, we send out a postcard, a physical postcard through the mail to these people, and we sell them, hey, the new calendars are available. You can buy them on our website, or you can go to Amazon. If you're a Prime member, get them for free. It instantly launches those products. I'm not giving any discounts, not incentivizing anything, but it instantly, those people go, and it instantly gets the ball rolling, and that product gets launched and starts selling. So owning a customer list and owning your customer data, we're going to talk about this more in another module, is super important. And using these marketplaces like Amazon to start to do that can be super valuable, especially when it comes to driving traffic back to Amazon. Hopefully this has been helpful for you, and we'll see you again in the next module.
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với Uspto, từ LIệN, từ trên Scout, logistics và warehouse. Xem thêm thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.